welcome back to another fucking podcast.
It's been a hot minute.
It's been a hot minute.
We've tried to record
multiple times.
Here's where we've been, but no one cares, so we're just gonna move on.
Yeah, we're just gonna move on.
We might post actual videos, because I changed our channel name. We're now Kicking Babies.
Yeah,
I changed it to Kicking Babies, because I thought
she asked me what I wanted it to be, and I was like, Kicking Babies. And she was like, no, what if people think we're actually kicking babies? And I was like, that's ridiculous.
That's the ridiculous part.
These are two different blues.
Oh no, is your art ruined?
I'm gonna have a pink.
I was gonna say, are you gonna freak out? That's green.
Huh? Where's my blue?
I don't know, it's silver
Okay,
in there.
so today we're talking about sexuality.
Ooh, my favorite topic.
Yeah.
I say in a fearful voice.
Because you were afraid of your sexuality.
I was terrified of my sexuality for a number of years. Last year?
No.
Not even.
It was like this year.
It was this year
Yeah.
I finally came to terms with the fact that I'm a bisexual.
Because I remember, like, one time at your, like, we were about to go to your dad's house, and then you, like, said something about liking girls, and I was like, Mary Grace, are you bisexual? And you were like, I guess.
Oh, we're also dropping our names, because if I'm going to post real videos, it doesn't matter if
Yeah, you guys are
know
gonna
our
know
names.
anyways.
So who cares? But yeah, I was like thinking about it, and I was like, being bisexual doesn't change anything in my life.
Nope.
It doesn't mean that I don't love my boyfriend. It doesn't mean that
Well,
I
it
have to break up and start dating women, because I never dated a woman because I was so terrified of being gay. Like, and I grew up in a pretty liberal household.
Yeah.
Like, my cousin's a drag queen, and he's gay, and then I have another cousin who's gay, who plays tennis. And, like, my little intermediate family has always been super supportive, super cool about everything. And I recently just came out to my family, like, to my mom and sister.
Didn't your brother, like, already know?
My brother had guessed it. He was like, I knew. Like, I told him, and I was like, did I already tell you I'm a bisexual? And he was like, you didn't tell me, but I knew. Like, it was pretty obvious, you know?
Which,
and I was like,
wow, amazing.
I was like, dang. So then I was talking to my mom and my sister and my brother-in-law, and I had my jeans cuffed, and I was like, only bisexuals cuff their jeans.
And your mom was like,
And my mom was like, what? And my sister's like, oh, is that how you're coming out to us with a fucking joke? And I was like, yeah, I felt like it would be funnier than it was. Nobody laughed. Nobody thought it was funny.
Your mom was like, nah.
My mom is okay with gay people, but I don't think she thought any of her kids would be gay.
Which is dumb.
Which is ridiculous.
1 out of 3 people is gay.
Yeah, and
So it was gonna be one
she
of
had
you.
3 kids, so one of us was going to be gay, and it
Yeah.
wasn't the married one. Married to a man one, as I put.
Yeah. But, you haven't ever questioned your gender, have you?
No.
Wow.
Well, no, I don't think so. When I was a kid, I used to pretend to be a boy all the time.
Yeah, but is that like a tomboy thing, or is that like a...
I used to say my name was Martin Gray and pretend to be a boy all the time when we would play outside. Like, I'd be like, oh, I'm a boy today. But I don't think I was confused. Like, I knew I was like, no, I want to be a girl, though.
Oh,
Afterwards.
well
So it was more like a playing pretend thing.
then, yeah.
More than, like, I just thought it would be fun to be a boy for a little bit.
I mean, shit. Yeah.
So I would just be like a boy for a little bit. And I had a baby doll that would switch genders all the time.
What?
Yeah. Her name was Abigail. I named her after my cousin, because when my cousin was a baby, I had gotten this bitty baby doll. And so it was named Abigail, and then Carson, I believe, was the boy version. And I would switch its gender all the time. Because sometimes I wanted a boy baby, and sometimes I wanted a girl baby.
Fair enough.
So I would just switch its gender, like, constantly. I'd be like, today it's Carson, and I'd put him in little, like, swim shorts, and, like, I'd make him talk like a boy, in my fake boy voice. Yeah, like, I'd be like, my name is Carson, I'm a boy. And then, like, that was the voice I would do for, like, all my Barbie dolls. But yeah, I switched that baby's gender constantly. Like, all the time.
Huh. Did any of your siblings question?
No one cared.
No, like, I meant their genders and
Oh, no.
sexualities.
No, my siblings never really had anything. They never thought they were gay. They never questioned their gender identity. Not to my knowledge. We have a pretty close relationship.
Yeah.
So I feel like they would have told me.
Mm-hmm.
And my brother was more, like, boyish than some people, but he also was, like, very sensitive, because
Yeah, 'cause he
my
was raised
dad
with you
is a
guys.
metrosexual to a T. He wore fancy hats. He didn't really like many things. He liked football, but he didn't like a lot of sports. He wasn't into hunting, which, where I grew up, if you weren't into hunting, were you even a man?
Right.
So, like, no, he was never, like, a man's man. He always talked about it was okay to cry, it was okay to show your emotions. And, like...
That's crazy.
That's
crazy.
He would always, like... My dad was such, like, a sensitive... He's still such a sensitive guy.
Your dad's an asshole.
Yeah, he sucks most of the time, but, like... Sometimes he's good. He's been good lately, which is wild. We could do a dad cast sometime.
Oh, well.
Talk about how fucked up our dads are.
I'm gonna call my dad first so I can have more tea.
Yikes.
I'm gonna do it.
I mean, I'm not gonna stop you from calling your dad.
I know.
I'll support you.
Everybody tries to, though.
Yeah, I never questioned my gender. I just would
Lucky
pretend
fucking you.
I know, I was gonna say, I would just pretend I would be a boy sometimes, and that would be it. And then I would go back to being a girl and be like, okay, I'm done.
You know, that's pretty fair. I used to act like I was a boy all the time. And then in middle school, I met a dude, and we were, like, internet friends, and then I, long-distance relationship dated him.
Okay.
And I was, like, a baby, but still. And, his name was Gabe, and then, one day, his mom called him something else, and I was like, what the fuck? And he was like, oh, I'm trans, I thought you knew. And I was like, what the fuck is that?
You didn't know what it meant?
No. I was like, what do you mean?
I don't know when I learned what trans was. Probably in, middle school.
And he was like, when I thought trans, I thought, drag queen. And he was like, oh, well, I was born as this, but I want to be a boy. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, cool. And then I started thinking about it. I was like, I think I want to be a boy. Because I hate being a girl. And I never felt right when I got called my dead name or when I got called she. And, I thought it was just, me being weird and anxious all the time. Because I do that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then my boyfriend at the time was like, well, why don't you try it? You don't have to say that this is you for the rest of your life. Gender can be experimental as long as you're not, posing as something, whatever. And I was like, oh, yeah, I guess. So that's where the name Ashton came from. My brother also called me Ash, the good brother, and because he was really supportive. And a little bit after that, I identified as male towards everybody. I was out at school, my Christian school, by the way.
Yikes.
I wore a trans pride flag to school and brought Halloween cookies when we didn't celebrate Halloween. I was a little fucking shit.
I was gonna say, fucking rebel over here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the most rebellious thing I did at school, and I think it was just wear short dresses and skirts, just to be fuck you, you can't get me, I have short legs.
I have short legs.
And they didn't catch me most of the time.
Well, you have short legs.
Yeah, I have short legs, so my fingertips they hit a place that is wildly inappropriate, quote unquote, for school.
I got in so much trouble.
You got long legs.
I am. I'm tall, and it's I can't wear fucking anything. Even longer dresses, they'd be like, you look too sexy in that. And I'm like, what do you mean?
Sorry, I'm too sexy.
But I identified as male for about, 2 years? 3 years?
I don't know, I didn't know you.
I don't. But, and then I kind of got pushed into a little bubble because my mom realized what was going on, and she was like, fuck that. And then I came out to her in a letter, and I was like, it was so sad. The letter was so sad.
Do you still have that letter?
I think so. Hold on, I'll look for it while I talk about it.
That's me, Tater Tot.
Mary Grace got a dog.
I got a little stuffed dog today, and I named him Tater Tot, and it's a little French bulldog stuffed animal, and he looks ridiculous.
Okay, well, my Google Docs for some reason is waiting, so I'll talk about it while I go this way. So...
You came out in a letter.
Yeah, I came out in a letter.
Very sad.
Oh my god, it was terrifying. I remember when I was writing it, I had a panic attack, and I was talking to my boyfriend at the time, and I was like, I can't fucking do this, she's gonna hate me, my brother's gonna hate me, my sister is fucking, she had a gay best friend, so I thought she'd be cool with it, but,
So were you in the letter coming out as, male, or
yeah.
you coming out as agender?
I was coming out as male.
Okay.
And, after I did that, okay, all hell broke loose. It was literally one of the shittiest times of my life. Because my mom was like, what did I do wrong? Where did I go wrong with you? Specifically, out of all of my siblings.
I guess because your other siblings were just straight.
Normal.
And
yeah,
normal.
we're all straight.
Normal, quote unquote.
Except my sister was bisexual in high school. She decided she's not, but like still.
So she's definitely probably a bisexual.
Yeah, probably.
And just is repressing it.
Yeah, she's like
Bruh,
super,
repression is so strong.
she's super Christian now. So you know she's bisexual.
I repressed that shit so hard. I was like, no. I used to say, if I can't be bisexual. I'm not in love with Ash.
Yeah, that's a fair observation, because a lot of people are in love with me. Which is confusing. We were just talking about that.
It's just frustrating. I can't believe I should have come out.
I felt so bad
soon.
for you when we were like, cause like we just like we didn't just start being best friends. Oh my god,
What?
our like best friend's anniversary is like next month.
Hooray!
Hooray! We've only
It feels like an eternity.
I know, because I love you so much. As soon as I met Mary Grace, I told her everything about my foster families and like my past and like just everything. And I didn't tell my best friend of like years. Like I hadn't told
when we
her
first
yet.
met each other, I talked about like my parents' divorce, and I talked about like my emotional instability
It was some deep fucking
and
shit.
some other deep shit, and like about like my undiagnosed bipolar disorder. I think we also talked about, because I talked about I didn't feel like I was in control,
Oh yeah, you did.
and I was talking about that kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
then I can't believe that I didn't. God, like ignorance truly is bliss.
Yeah.
And I realized that me being ignorant about myself and my body really kept me in the dark over really important issues, like my bisexuality and my bipolar disorder and like, repressed shit with my family. And
Yeah.
it's just crazy that I could just ignore it for so long.
Oh, you know what account it's on? It's on my old ass account from middle school.
Oh.
Oh
my
no.
God.
Oh god, this is gonna be fun.
Okay, but you sent a letter.
Oh yeah, I didn't send a letter.
Well, you
I literally
gave her a
I
letter.
printed out the letter downstairs, and I went upstairs and I was like, "Mom, can you read this?" And then like I had folded.
Did you stand there?
I folded it up really small, and I wrote on like each fold. I was like, "Please don't be mad." And then like you'd unfold it, and it was like, "I love you," and you would unfold it again, and it was like, "I'm really sorry." And then it was so sad.
Oh my god, you were terrified.
I was so terrified. And like, I literally thought she was gonna kick me out. Like, I had a place to stay. I had like contacted my best friend, and I talked to her mom about it, and her mom was like, I didn't tell her what was going on, because her mom was like conservative too, but she was basically like, yeah, if you need to stay with us for a couple weeks, because she knew my brother was shitty and abusive, and she was like, if you need to stay with us for a while, don't worry about it, blah blah blah. And I was like, coolio.
Can't imagine not having a place to go. Like,
It wasn't great, you know. Like, I ended up fine, like, being able to stay there, I guess. But, like I said, my mom, like, blew up, and she was like, where did I go wrong with you? And, like, what the fuck?
Mhm.
Et cetera, et cetera. And I didn't know how to respond to that. I didn't know how to say, like, because I didn't think anything was wrong with me.
there wasn't anything wrong with you. That's what's so shitty sometimes. Especially with people who, like, to me, gender is very fluid.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I woke up tomorrow and decided I wanted to be a boy, and then I woke up the next day and decided, I think I'm going to be a girl, I'd be like, okay, something's clearly with my gender that's not
Yeah.
what it used to be, but that doesn't mean it's bad.
Yeah.
And I think people get so hung up on, like, there was a news story about this trans woman who was male
Uh-huh.
and transitioned into a woman,
Mhm.
and then years later decided that she would like to be a male again.
Yeah.
So she transitioned back, and then she became he, and so now he's a male again.
Yeah.
And people fucking got so
See, here's the thing.
upset.
Stop assigning permanent labels to yourself. Because, like, I just think it's fucking dumb. Like, you have one chance, as far as we know, we have one chance to be alive.
Mhm.
Like, if I want to say, like, don't go willy-nilly. Like, don't be a fucking asshole about it and be like, oh, I'm a boy, I'm a girl. Unless you're, like, gender fluid, I guess. Which, personally, I don't know how I feel about that. And that's coming from me, an agender person
Mhm.
who doesn't, like, identify with any gender.
I knew a couple gender fluid people in high school. Aww. But I knew a couple gender fluid people in high school, and the way to describe to me is they're like, sometimes I'm going to dress masculine, sometimes I'm going to dress feminine, but I'm probably going to go by they, them. And I was like, okay.
Wow, this is really sad.
Are you reading it?
I'm reading a bunch of different things that I wrote.
But I think the gender can be fluid, and I think that it's, like anything, you should respect it, though.
Yeah.
And I guess I can't really say, like, you can't do this with your gender, because you can. You can do whatever you want. I don't give a fuck. But I do think if people are fucking it up and you switch it everything, like if you don't go by they, them, you say you're gender fluid and you go by she and he, depending on the day, you got to give people a chance to figure it out and try their best.
Yeah.
Because if you change it every single day and then you're like, you fucked up my pronouns today, you fucking asshole, I can't believe, like, and you get really upset, like, they're trying I promise you, most good friends of yours are trying their best. They're not trying to hurt you. Every time I fuck up your gender pronouns, I fucking want to die.
Oh, this is sad.
Oh no. How long is it?
I don't even think my coming out letter's on here, but there's just a lot of sad things.
I never like looking back on middle school.
God damn, I was just such a sad baby.
I remember.
Listen to this.
Okay.
I thought it was so deep. If fire is my mother, my name is what's left behind. Because my name's Ash.
Oh my god.
It's flames seething with fury and licking at cold night air, warm fluffy marshmallows and hot dogs. It's called to by my friends. Oh my god. I'm gonna cry reading this. It says, it's a word my mother has learned to dislike and cringe whenever she hears it. Close her eyes and try to remember when I was perfect. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Ouch. I'm
Jesus
crying.
Christ. You really had your mom. Every time I call you Ash, I always forget because I try not to call you anything around your mom. Because I'm not gonna call you.
Yeah.
Your what is it called? Your dead name?
Yeah, my dead name.
I don't like calling you your dead name unless we're making fun of your mom. Like when we make the voice and we say the name.
This is so sad.
You're like literally crying.
I know.
This episode is brought to you by tears.
It says, I'll just read this last part because it's really sad.
Okay.
Oh my god, it's so fucked up. Okay. It's a hospital's dream, a sign of new money flooding in. As I lay unconscious, my body quickly growing cold. I hear my family sobbing as wonders of a possible new funeral flashes through their mind. It's the perfect sound of my cat. Oh, I'm talking about my cat! Oh my god. This is so fucked up. Okay. So,
let's talk about your gender now, because you came out as saying you wanted to be presenting male. Mm-hmm. Your mom freaked out, asked like what was wrong with you. When did you figure out you were neither? You were like agender.
It was when I started being like really good friends with Hannah. Okay. And I think it was after I broke up with Ethan. I dated him for a month.
That was a trip.
And then I was like, ew, you're ugly and I'm not, so I'm outie. And I kind of got shut. Like when I started talking about my coming out letter, I wanted to say like my mom pushed me into that bubble of being a girl. Like she used to let me get my hair cut really short, then she stopped letting me do that. She stopped letting me like wear my boxes around the house, like my boy clothes. I used to dress really masculine, really obviously masculine.
I remember seeing pictures of you and I was like, alright.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and, like I passed most of the time, except for when I did some dumb shit, which I did dumb shit sometimes, not gonna lie. And but I got pushed into being like feminine. And so like I hated wearing dresses. I hated being shoved in because like she forced me to do it. And then like at some point I just would change up my school, and like when I first came to my new school at Dean Rusk, I told my person that was like leading me around, I was like, my pronouns are he, him, that's what I like to go by, my name is Ashton. And she was like, okay, well let's go tell all your teachers. She was so nice. She told all my teachers were so understanding, and like they would put me on like the boys' side of the room when we played like, you know, those games in class, and like they would always like they would use the right pronouns, and like when I wrote things they would be like really warm. And like my reading teacher in 8th grade sent me to the mental hospital I went to because she was like, I don't want you to die and kill yourself because I love you so much. She got me like this poem book that was like made out of cork. And it was like really nice and really expensive, and she like gave me a pretty like glitter pen. And she was like, you go fucking crazy. And I'm like, yeah! She loved reading my poems, and it was so sweet. But I got shoved into being feminine.
Never. Great.
And my freshman year of high school, oh my god, I wanted to kill myself. I was so suicidal. When I look back on it, I'm like, wow, I'm surprised I didn't die. But I told her that, and then she stopped. She was like, alright, if you're gonna kill yourself over something so dumb, I guess I'm just gonna stop. And I was like, if it was so dumb, why do you care so much?
Yeah, I was gonna say, if it's so fucking dumb, why do you give a fuck at
Mhm.
all? I'm just like, I can't imagine, like, because I was terrified to come out as something with sexuality, so just like to like girls, I was terrified. So
Yeah.
I can't imagine being like, hey, I possibly like girls, and also I might not be a girl.
A girl. Just so you guys know. So like, when she stopped pushing me into it, and I saw like how pretty like people were, just like in general. Like Ruby Rose was androgynous. I think they still are androgynous. There was a couple of other like androgynous characters and like books I was reading and like comics and like. Ugh.
Oh,
Sorry.
I was gonna say you legitimately were crying.
Yeah, I know. I was actually crying, and I cry, but not around people. Like I'll cry usually alone. But anyways, so then I was like, okay, my turn. So I started exploring, and of course my mom took that as me giving up. And she was like, oh, so you're a girl again? Like you're a girl? Like you want to grow out your hair and wear makeup now? And I just ignored her. I was like, fuck you. So then like I told Hannah about it and everything, and she was like, well, don't like force yourself to be anything. Just do whatever feels right. And I was like, shit. So I started looking at stuff and like trying to figure it out, and I was like, I don't really feel like I belong anywhere, and like it kind of makes me feel like sad and suicidal. And then I posted about it on my Tumblr. Oh wow. And someone like reached out to me and they were like, hey, I'm agender and you kind of sound just like me when I was your age. And I was like, huh? What are you talking about?
Yeah, because I didn't hear about any, like, I grew up in Cartersville, so, like, I didn't hear about any
How
of
did
this.
I come out to you? How did you figure it out? Did
I think
come out
Hannah
to you?
told me.
I'm pretty sure
Hannah
told
was
you.
like, hey, I have this friend, their name is Ash, their pronouns are they, them. They sometimes will present very feminine, so, like, you'll want to say she, but, like,
yeah.
try really hard to do they, because, like, that's what they're comfortable with. And I would immediately was like, okay, I can't fuck this up. And I did fuck it up a couple times in the beginning.
Yeah.
And I still fuck it up sometimes.
Yeah.
Because
Usually when you're fucked up, though.
Yeah, but it's also because sometimes when I talk about you,
Yeah.
or I talk to other people, like when I talk to your mom, I'm like, shit, I have to say she, and it's really uncomfortable for me. And I don't ever say your dead name because I'm like, I don't like it. I don't like saying
My mom
it.
doesn't really care anymore about that because I've just been going by it for like 6 years now, pretty much.
So I remember I met you and I was like, oh, this is what an agender person is.
Yeah.
Because I had met gender fluid people before.
Yes.
Where they'd switch.
Yeah.
Like my best friend was agender, and I don't know if they went by they, them. They were agender, and then they changed to they were like, I'm more gender fluid, I think. Yeah, Riley. I don't know if they went by they, them.
I thought they said that they didn't want to go by they, them, but they were agender.
I think they were very confusing to me. That's what confused me about agender and gender fluid people, is because I was just like very confused on what everything was about, because since I was terrified of my own sexuality, I kind of looked at LGBT from a distance. Like, I was like, I like LGBT, and I like gay people, and I like, agender people, but that's not my community, so I don't know a lot about it.
Yeah.
So I would, like, distance myself, because I was terrified if I, like, aligned myself too much, I would have to, like, come out.
Yeah.
And I'm just thankful I never had anybody out me.
Yeah.
Before it took me years to be ready to be able to say it.
Yeah.
And now, like, remember even a couple months ago, I wouldn't say it.
Yeah.
Like, you would, and I'd be like, that's me.
Hello, I'm bisexual. And I'd be like, this is my bisexual best friend.
And I'd be like, yep, that's me.
That is
and
me.
I was okay with you saying it, but I couldn't say it for myself. And I was just like, it's horrible.
This isn't the same pink as this, but it looks like it. Now I'm mad.
It's slightly different.
But
how did students react to you?
Oh my god. They were such fucking assholes.
Of course children are dicks.
Specifically the dudes, they didn't know I was trans at first. They thought I was just a dude.
They just thought you were a boy?
Yeah, because I wore cargo shorts and fucking, like, tees and, like, polos.
You looked like Billie
Eilish. And they had short fucking hair, and I never wore makeup. I wore, like, glasses, and, like, I wore dude shoes. I looked like a dude.
You
And,
passed.
like, I wore shorts in the winter. So I was obviously a dude.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to the women's restroom one day. My fucking mistake, because I never pissed at school ever.
But you had to.
I had to fucking pee. I literally was going to burst. And then they were like, dude, what the fuck? Ash is going to the girls. And I was like, yeah. And then, like, my reading teacher was like, guys, shut up. And, like, started being defensive. And they were like, well, what's the big deal? And then they were like, she's a girl. And I was like, kill myself. But, like, my teachers always got onto them and, like, told them to call me the right pronouns. And eventually they did. They just never treated me the same.
That sucks.
After I was good fucking friends with them, too. Like, I had gone to their houses before. I had, like, been friends with them. Like,
how old were you?
I was, like, 14.
It was middle school?
Yeah, 15.
Yeah, that sounds like middle school.
Yeah. It was terrible. It was not
in middle school, I had a bunch of guy friends, and then I later found out, because I dated one of them in high school, that when I would not be around, they would talk about my boobs all day.
Me.
And I was like, cool, glad. And I was like, is that the only reason you guys were friends with me? And then some of them were like, yeah, some of them thought you were annoying, but they were friends with you because you had, like, big tits. Because I went through puberty really fucking quick.
That is so shitty.
Isn't that awful? And that's why they would, like, buy me ice cream sometimes.
I mean...
Is they were hoping that I would, like...
show them your tits?
Yeah, they thought
something?
that maybe, like, I would give them something or show them something if I did, like, if they gave me stuff.
Hello.
Yeah, boys are shitty sometimes.
Boys are fucking idiots, first of all.
Yeah, because I went through puberty before a lot of girls in my grade, and I got a fat ass and I got titties before everyone else did. So none of my clothes, and then none of my fucking clothes fit because I went through puberty so fucking fast. And I just was like so self-conscious about my body because like all my shirts were super tight, and I remember I wore like the tight, and now I wear tight clothes all the time because I don't give a fuck.
Because you want to.
Because I'm like, yes, bitch, tight clothes. But before I was like terrified. People were staring at me and all this other stuff, and it was just, middle school's horrible.
Middle school is terrible. And like, I used to be thick in middle school too. So people, like, you know how guys like to act gay because they're afraid of their sexuality?
Yes.
And like make a joke out of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they used to do that. And they were like, dude, you're so fucking thick. And I'm like, if only you knew.
Oh my god.
I was so mad when they figured out. I was fucking livid. I literally...
Sucks.
I didn't go to school for like 2 days after that. They thought I killed myself.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Did you like come back and they'd be like, oh, we thought you were dead?
Yeah, literally. I came back and they were like, oh, we thought you killed yourself. And I was like, maybe soon.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It was really bad. But like my sexuality, I always knew I liked girls. I always knew.
For some people, that's how it is. Like when I used to talk to Shiloh about it, she was like, she also didn't help.
Yeah, she was like, if you were bisexual, you'd know.
Yeah, she
Fuck
literally
you.
told me, because I told her one time that I was questioning my sexuality a little bit, and she's like, well, I've known since I was like a kid. Like I always knew, and you like didn't have that as a kid because I didn't like girls when I was like younger. I started liking girls in middle school. And it wouldn't be girls that I knew, it would be like celebrities and like other attractive women that I saw. Like it was women, not like girls my age. So I just thought they were really pretty.
Yeah.
But then I wanted to like touch them.
What?
I was like, why do I like think about them? And like TMI, but I would like masturbate and be like think of women, and then I'd be like, I'm not gay though.
Women are just hot.
I just thought women were hot, and I'm like, everybody thinks women are hot. But no, it's not how other people think, apparently.
No, it's not.
It's not how other people
Surprise!
think. So you never questioned your sexuality?
Nope. Well, I mean, I questioned it when I was a dude. And, like, I identified as a dude because I was like, I also like boys. So, am gay? Am not gay. Because, like, then I was afraid to date girls. Because I didn't want them to be like, but you're a girl.
Yeah.
You know? So I was like, ew. So when I dated Ethan, I know he didn't see me as a male. I knew it, like, especially after we broke up.
I was gonna say, even when you guys broke up and he, like, talked about you, he, like, always talked about you as, like, a girl.
Yeah, and I was always a sexual object to him. I was nothing else ever. Literally ever. Even when he was fucking dating our friend, I was still a sexual object to him. And, like, they'd make jokes about it and be like, oh, like, Ash is so sexy, and then he'd be like, it's just gross. It was just gross. He's just a fucking gross person. If you're listening, I fucking hate you. No, I literally do. And you suck.
You do suck.
And I'll kill you. Not really, though.
I won't kill you, but I don't like you.
You suck. You just really suck. You hurt my friend. You hurt me. You just always sucked. And I'm glad that she figured it out.
Me too.
Only after you broke up with her, though. Loa.
I I'm trying to think of the first time that I was faced with somebody who wasn't like a straight cis person.
Yeah.
And I think it was when I moved from Idaho. Because in Idaho, you definitely didn't have anybody.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's Mormon City.
Yeah.
But, like, I moved, and I think it was not in middle school, but it was in high school when I became friends. No, it was middle school. It was 8th grade. Because that's when I became friends with Riley. And they told me they were, I don't know, I can't remember completely if they were bisexual or not, but they were, like, different, and they had gay friends, and they had trans friends.
Gay people in middle school are fucking crazy.
They had gay friends. Well, that's because they feel so alone.
Yeah.
That's because you're all by yourself.
And your whole identity is being gay back then.
Yeah, and you know what? Fucking do it. Middle schoolers, if you're listening, and you're gay, and it's your whole identity, first of all, you're going to grow out of that.
Yeah.
Because it's just a middle school thing where you're sad. And
it's annoying, by the way, but, you know.
So is, like, people who identify as only cheerleaders, and people who identify... Like, if you identify as just one thing...
It's annoying.
It's your shtick. It's annoying. But I understand why you're doing it, because you don't have a community yet.
Yeah.
Don't worry. When you get out there and you find a gay community, holy shit, it's super nice.
It's going to be really fun.
I'm always afraid people are going to be like, you're not a real bisexual because you've never been with a girl.
I'll fucking kill someone. I'll literally murder.
I've only kissed a girl. I've never been with a girl.
That's no one's fucking beeswax, though.
I know. And that's what I have to remember, because I'm like, I'm not really part of the community because I've never been with a girl.
I don't want to hear that bullshit.
That's so dumb.
You are so valid to me.
Thank you.
Ugh. Bullshit. Absolute hog wonky wonk poo poo.
Hogwash.
Yes. Fuck.
Why did you choose two very similar blues to color with? I don't know why you did that.
Crying.
Are you crying about your coloring book?
Yes. Technically, it's your coloring book.
It is my coloring.
You keep on making
like,
fun of me for taking so long.
Well, it does look good.
Yeah.
You see, all mine are really like scribbled. Like, I work really hard on the main thing, and then the background, I'm like,
Yeah.
who cares about
Which
it?
is fair. When did you first start to like girls, though?
I think it was when I actually knew probably earlier than I thought, because I was watching a movie one time with my dad and my like siblings and family and stuff.
Yeah.
We were on vacation, and there was this scene where she was like wearing like a lingerie style outfit. Like, it was like a bustier and like thigh highs connected to it.
Yeah.
And I like sat there and I like was squirming. Like, I think I was like 10.
Really?
I was pretty young.
Like you were squirming?
Like, I was squirming because I was like so uncomfortable with like how much I liked it. Like, I was like, I was like, why do I like this so much? I don't understand why I like this so much. And I was like uncomfortable with how much I liked her. I don't even remember. It was one of those dumb like movies that makes fun of movies.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one it was.
I feel you.
But it was one of those style movies, so I was just like, what the fuck is wrong with me?
What is going on?
And one time, I looked up on my sister's thing, like, boob. And one time, I thought, to prove I wasn't gay, I looked up vagina and I looked up penis on Google. And it came up with diagrams, obviously.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I don't like either of these, so I'm even more confused.
What if I'm not sexual?
So I was like so confused because I was like, I don't like either of these. What's wrong with me? I was really questioning my sexuality when I lived in Idaho when I was like 11 or 12.
Oh, so
Like-
back when you were in Idaho.
Yeah, when I was in Idaho, that was when I questioned it the most. And I think it's because I didn't have any friends. It was just me and my siblings. So I was alone a lot. So I had a lot of time to think by myself. And it really made me uncomfortable and upset because I didn't like being alone. Yeah, I didn't like being alone. That's part of the reason I don't like being alone is because I don't like being alone with my thoughts.
Yeah.
And I'm getting better about that. But yeah, that's still why I used to not like to be alone with my thoughts. And that's why I was so manic about not being alone.
Yeah.
Especially in Idaho. Like, I would play with my dolls, or I would paint, or I would listen to music. I like had to go to bed listening to music.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I can't go to bed because then I'll think about things that I don't want to think about.
Yeah.
And I felt so trapped in my own head.
Yeah.
Like, it was really shitty and fucked up. And I was like, damn, Mary Grace, you just would have talked to somebody about it. If I would have told anybody what was going on, they probably could have helped me. But I was just terrified people would be like,
what the fuck?
You like girls, ew.
Girls the feeling.
And then I hid it until I was 20 years old.
20.
I was gonna say 21, but I was 20. I did it till I was 20.
And then they were like, what?
And then nobody was shocked. Nobody was surprised because I'm like an uber feminist and I'm super into the gay community and like into gay rights, and I've always said women were really attractive and stuff, but I just never blatantly said like the word bisexual and put it with myself.
Did your boyfriend know?
No. Well, he suspected it. We've been dating for like 3 years, so he was like, "You really like girls. Like, you really like girls." And then I came out and I was like, "Yeah, I'm a bisexual, I guess." And he's like, "Yeah, I kind of figured you really like women." Ooh. And he's like, I kind of knew. Like,
I can't believe you literally thought you weren't bisexual because you didn't like women.
It was my only, like, it was literally like grasping at straws.
I know.
It was my last attempt to try to be quote unquote normal. It was me being like, I can't be because at first it was like because I've never been with a girl, and then there were stories about people who aren't with girls that are with their, like, are married or have husbands, and they're like, I'm still a bisexual just because I'm married. And I was like, fuck, I can't use that as an excuse anymore. So then it was, you know, it's because and I couldn't think of a reason, so I had to come up with something. Because I'm pretty sure all of my best friends I was in love with.
LOL.
Now that I think back on some of the best friends that I had in high school, yeah, I 100% think I was like into some of them, and that's why I care so deeply about them. Like, I definitely was in love with Riley. I can say that with confidence now. Now that I'm older, now that I'm wiser, I can look back and be like, no wonder I was obsessed. And I would get freaked out when they would talk about cutting themselves, and I would freak out and like run to their house, and I would cry all the time over them doing stuff, and I would get jealous of them hanging out with their boyfriends. And I don't think I was not in love with Catherine. Sorry, Catherine, but I was not in love with you.
Damn.
And I don't think I was in love with Shiloh either. But I think I really did like Riley. I think I wanted to be more than friends with Riley, but I didn't know what to do about it, so I just ignored it.
It's like that one song.
Which one?
The one. The one where they're like, I want to be with your friends, because we're both ladies. That one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's funny because Riley dated a boy in 8th grade, and then they broke up, and then I dated him in high school for a year.
Oh.
And I only dated boys in high school because I would just I think that's also why I dated boys after I broke up with boys, like right after, like I would get out of a relationship and then like a month later I'd be in a new one.
Yeah.
Because I was afraid to be single. Because I was like, if I'm single, I'll have those intrusive thoughts again. Like, because when I'd be in a relationship and I'd feel something for like a girl or a woman, I would be like, well, I have a boyfriend, so, you know, it was like a safety net.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh, I can't even, because I would never cheat, so I was like, oh, great, I don't even have to think about girls because I have a boyfriend.
Yeah.
So I'm straight. So, you know, I don't, like,
so
duh.
easy.
Yeah, it was so much simpler than just, like, coming to terms with it. And it took me a long time to be like, you can have a boyfriend and still be bisexual, Mary Grace. You dumb bitch.
You fucking idiot.
Fucking moron. Out here thinking
awesome. Stupid
dumb
poopy
shit. Yeah.
Sexuality and gender is scary and hard.
They're terrifying.
They're really not fun, to be honest.
No, and that's why it's so shitty, because usually when you figure out something about your gender or your sexuality, it's when you're a teenager. You should be excited. But it's when you're a teenager, and everything's shitty when you're a teenager.
I know, that's why it's shitty, because you should be excited, but you're like, and you, like, if your parents react the way that mine did, or if they're just, like, fucking the worst in any sense, way, or form, it's like, you know, it's just gonna shut your whole world down, because things seem a lot bigger when you're in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Things feel a lot bigger.
Yeah, I remember I joined GSA, and I was one of, like, 6 straight people, and then by the end of the year, I was the only straight person in GSA.
Really?
Because they either figured out they were gay or bisexual.
Oh, well.
Or like, more they didn't figure it out, it was more they became okay with the label. Like, if you join GSA, you're probably not straight.
Just saying.
You're probably just joining the club because you either like gay rights or you're secretly like part of the community and you don't know it.
You don't want to be a part of it.
But you don't want to be, so you claim you're straight at first.
That's fair.
So everybody was like, and I got like upset because I was like, what the fuck? Because I got mad. I remember getting mad and being like, all these people decided that they don't want to use the term straight anymore for themselves. Like, they all figured it out. And I got mad because I was like, why can't I figure it out? Like, I was pissed off that other people were figuring out themselves on the Kinsey scale and, like, knew their sexuality, and I couldn't figure mine out.
Yeah.
And I remember we did the Kinsey scale, and I lied about it. I lied to the club. I remember lying.
How dare you lie to GSA?
I know. Everybody else was honest and put it where they wanted, and even some of the straight people were like, oh, but I kind of think girls are attractive, or I kind of think boys are, and I, like, put
everybody knew.
it right on the straight thing. I was like,
Everybody
I'm
knew.
straight.
Everybody
I'm
knew.
sure there were lots of people who knew and were like, I wonder when Mary Grace is going to come out.
Everybody was like...
But I remember lying, and I was like, I felt shitty about it. I was like, why do I have to lie to these people? And, like, everybody else had coming out stories and pride stories, and I was afraid. And they were like, we're all going to go to Pride. And I was like, I'm not going to Pride.
I'm not going to Pride.
I
don't want to go to Pride.
I was like, I don't even want to go to Pride. Like, why would I want to go to Pride? It's not for me. Whatever.
I'm a straight person.
I'm straight.
Guys, I'm straight.
I'm straight, guys. I swear to God. And then, oops.
Oopies.
Oopsie poopsies.
I guess I'm now straight.
It just sucks. It sucked that I had to lie to myself for so long.
Yeah, and it sucked
I
because
feel-
I was your best friend and it was annoying.
Because did you know?
Yeah, of course I fucking knew. Of course I fucking knew.
Oh.
You talked about girls so much. You were like, they're so hot and sexy. And then I thought it was like, oh yeah, we're both bisexuals. And then I would say it and you were like, oh, I'm not bisexual, I don't think. I think I'm straight. And I was like,
So dumb. I bet Hannah knew too, and Hannah was like,
oh, dude.
this dumb bitch over
Definitely.
here.
I thought you were bisexual the whole time. I thought you knew you were bisexual the whole time.
I had an idea, I just didn't want to be.
Fair enough. This doesn't look good anymore. I fucked it up. I'm gonna have a crying attack.
I want to cry thinking about poor fucking 15-year-old me. Why did I shut her in the closet? I put her deep in there.
Yeah, you kind of suck for that. Not gonna lie.
I'm not gonna lie. I did suck for doing that to her. She didn't deserve that.
No.
She was going through enough shit with my parents' divorce. I don't know why. I thought
That would be
that would be any help. Like, that would be helpful.
Yeah.
I was going through my parents' divorce. I was going through being in a new place, and I was like, you know what would help?
Shoving
If
my
I shoved my
sexuality
sexuality way down there. And I realized that's why I was like, I would have depressive episodes sometimes. That and my bipolar disorder, but like, I would have like things where I'm like terrified of like someone finding out that like I thought about women a lot.
down. Really?
Yeah,
That sucks.
because I would think about women in a romantic and a sexual way, and then I was like, if anyone finds out, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, I thought my boyfriends would find out and like dump me.
Really?
Yeah, I was
Guys
like,
think it's hot.
I know they did. Well, I didn't know that at the time. I didn't know men were so fucking disgusting.
Men are just gross.
Now people find out I'm bisexual and they're like, ooh,
Yeah, which is stupid.
which is so dumb.
Like, what the fuck changes? Nothing.
Just means I might make out with my best friend. Ooh.
Ah! You would have done that anyways.
Yeah, well, I kissed Shiloh.
Yeah, I know you
And-
kissed Shiloh.
I know. Well, I didn't have a boyfriend at the time, and I said I never. And I like talked to Shiloh, and I was like, I've never kissed a girl. I'm gonna kiss a girl, and that should have tipped me off. Like, why the fuck did that not tip me off? Why didn't that tip Shiloh off either? I bet she knew too.
She just wanted to be the only one.
I bet she fucking knew. Also, she had to have like.
Shiloh, you suck too.
Yikes. But it was just a horrible time. What a horrible, horrible time that was. And I feel so bad for young me because I probably would have had a lot of fun dating girls.
You would have. They're great.
Yeah, I'm sure it would be like I could have had so much fun, and I'm
And
in a
some
happy
really good sex.
monogamous relationship now. So I'm not really like I'm just bummed that I didn't do it in the past. Like I don't want to break up with Dave at all to go pursue women. I'm just sad that I never got the chance because I was so afraid of it.
Yeah.
And that's the shitty part is that I was like, you could have had a fun time, you know, you could have made out with girls and had a good time with it. and said you were so scared that it was going to be this big, scary thing.
And then everyone was like, okay.
And then, you know, you find out it's not actually so bad. It's nice to, you know, finally have something to call it. I know some people don't like labels, but it was relieving to find a label.
I mean, yeah. I can imagine.
Is that how you felt when you, like, found agender?
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. I was living the dream. I was so excited because I was like, I feel so much better. This is exactly what I wanted. Because, like, it didn't matter what I looked like or dressed like that day. Like, my friends that respected me, obviously, were like, oh, that's Ash. They're really cool. And I was like, ah!
Let's talk about pronouns. Because I get pissed off when people don't use your pronouns.
Oh. You know what a fun story is? When Zach fucking misgendered me.
On purpose?
Yeah. He was drunk, and we literally weren't actually fighting. I don't even fucking remember what was happening, but one of my other friends that I just recently figured out I was a gender because she's a new friend of mine had misgendered me, and she corrected herself, and then he was like, actually, no, she's a bitch. And I was like, fuck you. That was way too fucking far. Like, I just said that immediately. I didn't even think about it.
Good.
It was just like white, blind fucking anger. I was like, fuck you, that's way too far. You know that wasn't fucking funny. I know that you wouldn't do that to Lou, which is his transgender best friend of, like, years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're family.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, he went to his mom's wedding, and, like, they go to each other's funerals and shit. And it's like, dude, I know you would never do that. And, like, I texted his dude best friend, and I was like, hey.
Your best friend did this.
Yeah, and he was like, that's so fucking shitty, and I'm so fucking sorry. Like, we've joked around about it before, but that's because he helped me figure out that I was a dude. And I was like, yeah, it made me feel really shitty. And he was like, I want to fucking kick his ass. And he was so supportive and nice to me. And I was like, I love you.
Communities, man. Find your people. That shit is shitty. When I figured out that you were agender and you went by they, them, first of all, I told my boyfriend. And I told everybody that was going to meet you. I was like, they're they, them. Try to remember it. It's going to be hard. I told my parents.
Yeah.
They changed. And, like, you know what? It happened the other day. I was talking about you to my sister and my brother-in-law, and he said she, and then he went, oh, shit, sorry, Mary Grace, they. Aww. And changed it immediately. And he was like, sorry, they, and because I was about to correct him because we were on the phone, and then he changed it. And
that makes me want to cry.
Yeah, because I told my family, and they, like, go by it, and my mom's confused by it because she's
that's okay.
Old school, but she still respects it, and
I
like,
love you,
will still
Noelle.
say it. She's confused because she's very old school. She's like,
but they
wear makeup and look like a girl. I'm very confused.
Okay, another thing about being agender, I don't have to have fucking short hair. I don't have to wear makeup. I don't have to wear dude clothes. I don't have to wear girl clothes. My clothes are clothes. I have a friend, oh my god. I have a friend, and he's a dude, and he wears crop tops.
Which friend wears crop tops?
Ah, hold on, his name's Dylan.
I love crop tops.
I love crop tops specifically on men.
I do think boys should wear crop tops more.
My friend Bo also wears crop tops. I wish my boyfriend wore crop tops.
Ed would look good in crop tops.
Oh, he looks sexy. He's got a little dad bod. little tum-tum.
I like crop tops, but only if I wear, like, high-waisted shorts.
I'll show you because I'll be distracted. But anyways, he wears crop tops. So I don't have to, no one has to look a fucking, okay, here's the tea of the day.
Oh, shit.
If you're a male, whether you identify as one or you are, like, cisgendered one, if you don't look masculine, people are gonna fuck up your pronouns. It doesn't mean you're not a boy. Like, do whatever the fuck you want. But I had a friend who wore bright red fucking lipstick, long ass eyeliner every day, and had their head shaved. And they were like, I'm a boy. But then when people would say she, I would, like, ask them, I'm like, why didn't you tell them? And they were like, oh, because it doesn't really bother me.
That's crazy to me. I can't believe it. I mean, and some people aren't bothered by it. And that's what's wild about, and that's
that
why.
That means you're not trans. I'm sorry. Like, if you don't have some kind of dysphoria or, like, dysmorphia about your gender or the pronouns that people give you, you're not trans.
I think that it just depends on person to person.
No, I don't.
Do you not agree with me?
No.
Well, that's fine. We don't have to agree on everything. That's why there's, like, and that happens in the LGBTQ plus community, is there's different, some people don't think that you're trans unless you have the, like, certain things, and some people don't think you're, you know, some people would argue I'm not bisexual. Some people would argue.
Well, I mean, if you don't have dysphoria, why are you another gender? Just because You feel like it?
Some people want to feel special.
That's dumb.
I
And you're
know.
making actual transgender people look dumb.
It's annoying because you are representing a community, whether you like it or not. Like, when people see me, they see colored hair, they see I am a girl, they see that I'm short, and they see I'm white. And even though I don't want to represent those categories, they're going to judge me and
Yeah.
think that I represent that. So if I'm a dick to them, they're going to think all people with colored hair are bitches. They're going to be like, oh,
Well, they already think that, so they'd be like, you and you, like, fucking kids who
you
dye
and your
your
punk,
hair.
yeah, you punk kids always think you dyed hair. I knew you were going to be a problem. And then some people would probably be like, oh, of course she's a bitchy white
And then
lady.
if you're so fucking nice, then it's like, wow.
What a surprise.
Yeah.
So when you're in a community like that, you're going to, unfortunately, be representation. And that's why representation is so crazy in media and stuff, is because you're like, if you do it wrong, you could really fuck up a lot of people's lives, because now that they're going to think a trans person, they're going to be like, oh, well, they're just
not
doing
really
it.
trans.
They're
They
doing
want
it
it for
just because they want to
attention.
do attention, or because they want to go, sneak in the women's locker room.
Yeah.
Like, I remember reading this stupid post where it's like, if I knew that if I just put on a skirt and said I was a girl, I could go into the girls' locker room, I would have been quote-unquote trans years ago. And I was like, just because you're a creepy dude, that wouldn't, like, you're gonna go, make everyone change your pronouns, change your name, start dressing
Wear
in a really
dresses,
different way.
wear makeup. You don't have to wear makeup to be a girl.
But, like, you're gonna change your whole identity just to be a perv? Like, no, you're not. Trans people don't do that.
No.
That's not a thing. It makes me so mad
It makes me also
when
mad.
people try to fucking say that.
We got some really good burritos earlier.
We did get really good burritos.
They were
Why
delicious.
are you changing this?
Because I thought about burritos. Because I saw the dip.
So you saw the cheese dip.
Yeah.
It's probably good because I was getting very heated very quickly. I just think that people should be able to do what they want to an extent. Let me clear that up. I don't think that you should be able to, like, rape and murder people just because you fucking feel like it.
Well, yeah.
But that's what I mean. Like, I think that if, like, it doesn't affect you, who cares? And if, like, you have a friend and they're like, I go by they, them, please try. Remember
Try.
it. Please try. It means the world to them.
Really, it does.
It, like, think about it this way. I am a cis lady. I would fucking hate it if people called me he and him all the time.
Or, like, called you Marvin.
Or called me, like, Marcus. They're like, hey, Marcus. Like, I hate it when people call me Mary.
Yeah.
That's half my name. And I'm
Yeah.
like, hey, that's half my name. Call me my full name, please. I can't imagine what it'd be like all the time, people fucking it up. Because I'm like, that sucks.
Yeah.
That's shitty.
And imagine your mom doing it to you.
Yeah, my mom being like, Marvin, come here, boy. And I'm like, ew,
No.
I'm not a boy. And my name's not Marvin. Please don't call me Marvin.
Please don't call me Marvin, Mom.
It's just so easy to switch it out. Like, it sounds hard. And it is hard in the beginning. But once you get yourself kind of aligned with it.
Well, here's the thing. It's challenging in the beginning, yeah. But it's not hard.
It's like learning somebody's name.
Yeah. It's like learning someone's fucking name, or like, oh, they changed. Like, it's just like, you change. I'm sure that, like, there's been something about you that's changed, whether it be your hair or your style, that you want someone to acknowledge. And it's like, dude, don't be a fucking dick. It's so easy. It's so easy. It costs $0 not to be a fucking cunt. I love being a cunt to some people. Mostly people who deserve it. And ugly people. But they deserve it.
Wow. Really undoing your whole thing here.
But don't be a dick.
Just don't be it's very easy though. I'm coming from somebody who's been there. It's pretty easy to switch it out once you figure it. Like, figuring it out is easy. It's just like,
If someone comes to you and they're like, hey, this is a really personal thing, it's really intimate, it's something that I want to share with you because you're important to me and I respect you and your respect means a lot to me, can you change this? How the fuck are you going to be a dick about that? And, like, just not acknowledge it?
because it's quote unquote hard to remember.
Okay, well, fuck you.
Because it's
so
stupid.
is your fucking number. I'm never going to call you again. Fuck you.
Yeah, it's like remembering somebody's name. It's like, it's hard to remember everyone's name at the beginning of school year, but you eventually do because you get it in your brain. So it's like, they. they. Just, you gotta keep remembering it. Or change, if you, like, knew them for a long time, as she, and then now they're a he. Just think about every time you talk. It's like, think before you act. Think before you speak. If you, like, are talking really fast and you say she, just a quick, like, oh, sorry, I meant he. Like, a quick apology.
Don't make a
works.
huge thing out of it.
Try not to be like, oh my god, I am so sorry.
I'm just such a piece of shit. My fucking friend Matthew does that every time.
Yeah, he says, like, to hit him and, like...
And he's like, no, dude, seriously, I'm the fucking worst. And, like, hugs me a bunch. And he's like, I'm just so sorry. And, like, it's just, like...
Don't make a big deal out of it.
It's alright, dude. Like, I don't know how to tell you it's okay. Because it's not okay.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, I understand that there's going to be fuck-ups. And it's not like I'm going to get mad at you. You're human. I know you're trying.
And if someone does get mad at you, that just means they care a lot about it.
Yeah.
Like, they're not trying to be mean. They're not
Yeah.
trying to be, like, aggressive.
They're not
But
trying to be
they're
a dick.
probably just fed up, honestly.
Yeah.
Because some people get more of a bypass than that. Like, if you're new and you're newly friends, it might be a little harder in the beginning. But if you've been friends for a while and you've known for a while... Like, when I first met Ash, they were they-them.
Mm-hmm.
So it was relatively easy in my eyes because I never knew them as anything else. So I was just like, oh, it's just retraining my brain to say they,
Yes,
them,
baby.
instead of... And at the beginning, here's some tips and tricks. I just called them dude, I called them man, I called them bro, I called them...
And then
like,
when referring to me, she'd just say my name.
I just said Ash. Yeah, like, I'd be like, and then Ash said, instead of she said or they said, because I couldn't... My brain wasn't ready to, like, hadn't figured it out yet. But now I call almost everybody they.
Yeah.
Now it's like, I've trained it the opposite direction, and I'll be like, what? And I'll say they in the beginning, and then I'll be like, shit, I mean she? Like, I guess my brain is now overly saying they, but, I mean, to me, that's better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot more people that I thought at the beginning who go by they, them.
Yeah.
There's, like, a ton of people.
Sam Smith? They go by it.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, Sam Smith. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if Ruby Rose does. I know that they used to.
They did at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, it's an easy fix. It's an easy switch. I think it's not that hard once you get in. Like, I've gotten multiple people to do it, and when they fuck up, they're like, oh, I'm sorry, I mean this, and then we move on. But if your friend, like, gets really, really upset with you, it's probably because they are hurt by it.
Just try a little harder if you can. You know?
Sexuality and gender and stuff it's confusing and it's hard, and so think about it in a way like that. Like, if you think, like, oh, this is so hard for me to remember, think about how hard it is to live it. To correct every single person, to have to correct your parents, your friends, to have to tell people, to, like, have to tell, like...
You have to come out to teachers, and
Yeah.
you have to come out to, like, new friends, and be like, hey guys, just so you know, at work.
When
It's
you're
so
not
fucking-
cis and straight, it's a constant coming out of the closet party.
Yeah.
It's constantly talking about pronouns, it's constantly telling about sexuality. Like, when I meet new people now, I am terrified because I'm like, oh shit, I have to tell, like, at some point,
They're gonna figure it out.
They're gonna figure out I'm bisexual, and they're either gonna be like, whatever, and not care, or they're either gonna be upset about it for some reason, or be gross
Because,
about
you know,
it.
my sexuality is relevant to someone else's life.
Yep. Unfortunately, like, whenever boys find out I'm bisexual, and I know sometimes they're gonna be, like, gross and shitty about it. And I'm like, well, hopefully, and that's why I don't really tell strangers, except for I am now, I guess, but, well. But I don't, like, there's, like, a lot of artists that I follow that are all bisexual, and they talk about it in their art, and there's
The
one
majority
girl,
of people I know is bisexual.
a lot of people are bisexual, because it's pretty common. And there's bi-Eurasian, which is shitty. I remember when I hadn't come out yet, I was like, bi-Eurasian is so shitty. And, like, I was extra upset about, like, people saying that, like, men were gay. Like, my mom even said it at one point. She said, no man is bisexual. Men are just gay. And then I was like, well, that's not true at all. And I, like, would get really upset.
Right.
Yeah, I would get really upset about bi-Eurasian. I would just be like, and then I was like, I wonder why I'm so
sure.
upset. What's up?
I'm pretty sure mine's bi.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Because he talked to me about it a long time ago. And he was like, yeah, I think you helped me realize it. And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, well, you don't really identify as either gender. And then I thought about, like, well, what if they identified as female? I'd be okay with that. But what if they identified as male, or, like, looked like masculine? I'd be fine with that. And then he'd be like, when I realized I'd be fine with a masculine-looking partner, I was like, maybe I just like dykes? And then he was like, no, I think I like boys too. And I was like, okay.
Well, I think about it of like, if my boyfriend came to me and was like, I think I'm actually a woman trapped in a man's body, I'd be like, well, great, we can still date. Because if you transition into a woman,
I like ladies.
I still like women, so. He's got a petite frame. So
He'd make a hot lady.
He'd probably be a hot girl,
Yeah.
I know. But he got that big old schnoz.
You wanted Gabby Hanna to have a fucking big schnoz and drawings of her.
I was so mad. We were watching a Draw My Life, and she was talking about Gabby Hanna, the YouTuber, and I was like,
She drew like little stick figures with like normal faces.
And I was like, why doesn't Gabby Hanna have her big nose? That's like part of her whole thing.
She hates it.
Well, most people do.
I saw this girl the other day, and like, for some reason, I have this weird thing with like girls with big noses. It's like this. It's like they're cute to me. Like obviously, if they have an ugly nose, I'm gonna be like ew. But like, there's just something like elegant about it to me.
Elegant about a big nose.
I don't know why, but I saw this girl and her nose was like big, and my mom was like, "You look at her nose," and I was like, "Yeah, it's pretty," and she was like, I love pointing out cute girls to my mom and making her uncomfortable.
Classic.
Because she's like,
She was so excited when you had a boyfriend. She was like,
oh
yeah.
This, like, after I told her, like, being, like, I was trans and everything, she was like, I'm guessing you like women? And I was like, yes. Question mark. Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Fuck.
I didn't apologize to my mom. My mom was like, okay. And I was like, yeah, that's right. You're going to be okay with it. Sure, good mom. I would not tell my grandparents because they would be giant dicks about it.
Yeah, I think it would give my grandma a heart attack, to be completely fucking honest.
I was like, hey, I like women, and I've kissed a girl. They'd be like, I think one of my sets of grandparents would be like, would like say something crazy like, oh, I used to, make out with girls all the time. Or like, something like wildly unexpected, but then I know the other side would be like, and freak the fuck out.
They probably think that we were dating secretly.
Oh yeah, they think I have a lady roommate when I do
You
not.
should just tell them that I'm your roommate. You're like, oh yeah, by the way.
I have. Before.
Really?
I think I've lied about it and been like, my roommate.
She's my roommate. They're like, wow, I can't believe they actually did it.
They would be frustrated with you.
Why?
Cause you look like a lady.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry about that.
If I look like a boy, you say I just look like a boy.
They'd probably just be like, what a cute little tomboy.
Yeah. You're just a tomboy. You don't want to be a boy.
Alright, you want any last words? Since we hit our
Don't
hour
be
mark?
a fucking dick. Be nice.
Be nice to your friends, especially if you're a teenager and everybody's going through shit.
Say bye, Tater Tot.
Tater Tot says bye. And just, everybody's having a horrible time, so you might as well make it worth it for everybody. Alright, this has been another fucking